You can't do it by yourself. And I've been doing it for a long time, but I still have a
Mhm.
coach. I've had a coach for, 25 years.
Yeah.
And so I think that's very, very critical. And, create some type of a mastermind. And you just need to have that support. But again, like I said earlier on, unless you know the right way to do things, then you're not going to be successful. But read books, listen to videos, stay positive the whole time.
Hi, I'm Noel with today's Brew. We're top producing real estate agents share their tips and tricks on taking more listings, making more money, and having fun doing it. On today's episode, we welcome Richard Buckingham from Richmond, Virginia. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I'm so happy to have you on. You know, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Oh, you're awfully kind. Yeah.
Let's let everyone else know all about you, though. How long you've been in the business?
Well, I started back in the 70s, if everybody remembers back then. And I started off as a real estate agent and worked for a great company. But I got a partner, then we decided that we could do it better than they could.
Okay.
So for about 20 years, I had my own real estate company. It was a Coldwell Banker office, and I sold it back in the 90s, the mid 90s. And when we sold it, we had 55 agents, two offices, and and then I went to work with Remax, and then all of a sudden I got involved with selling some high end properties, and I wanted to go with another brand, and the Christie's brand, and now I'm at Long and Foster. Yeah,
Okay. All right. So, like 47 years, right?
47 years. Yeah,
47 years. So, lots of changes in that amount of
yeah.
time. What changed for you? I mean, you obviously are a go-getter because you went and opened up your own branch and had 55 agents. How has the business changed and from then to now?
Oh, I think it's gotten so much better. And I remember years ago that, and my wife kind of kids me about it. There's a certain part in the Richmond area we have a river going through us, through our city, the James River,
Mhm.
and south of the river is one part, and then the north of the river is another. And we would meet. There's a shopping center right by, and we would meet delivering contracts to the agents south of the river and north of, and we had exchanged contracts, at all hours of the night.
I
Now,
know.
it's just a matter of, I've got an offer for you and let's go over it, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they click, 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 and you send it off and it's all done. So
I know, I know. I've
it's
worked with
been,
clients I've never even met before, and it's all over online because they're moving from out of state, and you meet them
yeah,
when you meet them their house.
yeah, exactly. I mean, so I think that part of the technology has worked fantastic. I started off with an MLS book, and every Friday it would be delivered to our offices, and everybody would. It'd be like the old Sears catalog, and we'd get it, and be, oh, let's see our new listings and everything. And then all of a sudden we evolved into the internet, and now it's just boom, boom, boom. I mean, so
Mhm.
everything has gotten faster and easier to work with. So I'm excited. I mean, it's so much easier to sell real estate now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, okay, 47 years, you've bound to found what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Hmm.
And are you doing mostly listings? Is that your goal?
Well, that's a great point. Back then, I was doing a lot of relocation,
Mhm.
and so I would say 70% of my business was buyers, 30% was listings. And then when I got involved with coaching, they said, "Listen, you need to get more into the listing side."
Mhm.
And so I gradually moved over to the listing side, and now 75% of my business is listings and 25% is sales.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So, what did you do differently to transition into listings? Do you prospect?
Oh, well, that's the name of the game. Contacts equal contracts. So, I have a pretty strict routine now. Uh, I get up around 4:30, excuse me, about 4:45. Uh, get ready to go to the fitness center, at 5:30, I have a accountability call with a great agent down in Florida.
Wow.
And we go over things. And then I'm at the fitness center at 5:45, work out for about an hour or so, take a shower, get cleaned up, and I'm at the office by 7:30.
Hmm.
And so we do that. And then I have a great accountability partner up in Montreal, Canada. And we talk at 8:30, sometimes a little before then. And on our calls, I think accountability is really the key, because for me, these guys are doing a lot more business than I am, and it motivates you. I mean,
Hmm.
it doesn't depress you. It just shows you, excites you, what's out there and what can be done. And if you're only doing this much and they're doing that much, it's just wow. It just gives you so much more.
Oh,
And so I just think getting your systems down is so critical right now. I remember listening to Earl Nightingale, or maybe it was Tony Robbins. I think it was said it. The guy that gets up in the morning and they get all dressed up and everything, puts his running shoes on, and wants to run and see a sunrise. If he gets up and runs west, he did everything the right way, but he just ran in the wrong direction. And so what we want to do is run in the right direction.
yeah.
Uh, so you can get all set up, but if you don't have the right systems in place, and that's what I've been working on right now, is getting the right systems in place. And my accountability partner down in Florida, he had a great analogy. He said it's just like Michelangelo carving out that David.
Mhm.
It's every day you chisel at it and chisel at it and chisel at it. You're not there yet, but it's going to happen. And
Yeah.
so, sometimes you hear about blind faith, but if you're on the right program, and I'm always evolving. I mean, I did well last year. We just had the award ceremonies for Long and Foster, and I was number 7 in the company, and that's
Whoa.
out of like 800 agents. And so, but the thing of it is, eh, I mean, that was the past. Today you've got to work on the future, and so you can't rest on your laurels. You can't
Uh-uh.
spend what I did in the past and everything.
Mm-mm.
And plus, you know, I was with my coach, and he said,
Absolutely. So yours starts off very early. I mean, that's really impressive. And that you're on the phone at 5:30 with an accountability partner before you even start the day. Um,
right, they're more nuts than squirrels. So let's just kind of keep going and everything. And I mean, so what I do, I call the first thing in the morning. I call the expires.
mhm.
And then I call whatever for sale by owners that are out there. And for sale by owners, really, I think it's a great opportunity right now. I mean, if you know the scripts to say and you actually believe it, you got to believe it. But if you know the scripts to say, and then you can convert them. I mean, it may not be that call that day, but in your follow up and everything else like that, your lead follow up, you'll convert them. And then I'm when working on my database, and that's been a real struggle. I've
Really?
got a lot of people in my database, but I haven't called them. I sold them back in 2013, 2000, whenever, and I just kind of haven't there. So now I'm going back to my database. I'm calling them all. My coach is on top of me about follow up, follow up, follow up. I'm calling them, and I report my numbers. And like I said at the beginning, contacts equal contracts, and
Absolutely.
you have to come from you know you wanting to help these people. And if you come from it's all about me, it's not going to work. So you got to
Mm-mm.
work about coming to them and helping them. And how many people can I help today?
Yeah. So how many contacts are you trying to hit daily?
Well, what I've been hitting, the highest I hit was 43,
In one
and
day?
one day. And but I'm running somewhere around 15 to 25 contacts.
So
If
do you have a team?
no, it's just me.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So yeah, then you're very busy.
Yeah, and I just hired my first assistant. I've had assistants in the past. I've had buyers agents in the past, but I just hired an assistant, and she's starting next Monday.
Okay, cool. So, so if 25% of your business is still buyers, does that mean
Buyers,
does that mean that you're going out and showing them homes and everything?
painfully, I mean,
Are these buyers coming from your listings and just word of mouth?
no, I do have the database, and some of the things that I've worked on is universities that are here in the Richmond area,
Mhm.
and I have a couple of doctor groups I work with, and so they say, Richard, I've got this doc coming in, and will you show them around a little bit? So I show them around, and then they really, it's an easy sale,
Mhm.
and then they decide to come to Richmond, and I end up selling them a house. But they're pretty much higher end. I would say 7 to a million and a half is what
You'll
they
take
buy.
those buyers anywhere they want.
We'll work with them. We'll work with them. And then and I try to stay on the listing side. My average GCI last year was right around 16.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is bump that up to 20,
Okay.
and that's an $850,000 sales price. So if I can get it up to that, that's my
Mhm.
goal. Now it's not going to happen, right away, but that's
Yeah.
something that you work toward. And
How many transactions did you have last year?
40.
40. Okay. And mostly listings.
Mm-hmm.
40 is fantastic. What was your biggest year ever?
I was in the 50s, but I had an assistant back then. I think 53, 54. There was a company here in town, a big company here in town. This was years ago, and they closed in 2009, called Circuit City.
Mhm.
And you may have seen those on a national
Mhm.
basis, their stores. And their corporate headquarters was here in Richmond. And I was one of the top agents that they referred stuff to. And
Wow.
one year, just with Circuit City, I sold 35 homes.
Man,
Yeah, yeah.
I bet
So
you had to
that's
go in there and spend some money.
well, well, but the thing of it is, you sold 35 homes. Mainly, most of that was to buyers. You see, so what happened, and then when Circuit City pulled out of town, all of a sudden I'm saying, "Oh, the goose with it laid the golden egg is gone," and so I had to basically reinvent myself and
Yep.
get going again. So I said, "I'll never do that again." Even though it was very profitable, it was very profitable. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
not long
control my
term.
I'm gonna control my own destiny, and, the way you control that is by listing.
Absolutely. So you have a coach
Yes,
and you have several accountability partners.
yes.
Your scripts, do you ever change them? I know you make them a little bit. No, never. Same
No. I
script.
mean, they work,
Yeah.
and the people that created these scripts are a heck of a lot smarter than I am, so, and they work, so, on use them. Now, do you create your own, adaptation to it? Yes, you do. I mean, you don't read it word for word for
Yeah.
word. I mean, you kinda ad lib a little bit in it, but you stay on script and you know what the next part's gonna be. You make the just like our conversation right now, you make it
Yeah.
very comfortable. Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. I try not to be too scripted. I try to just enjoy the process of interviewing you. um, all right. So lead follow up, you kind of said maybe you hesitated a little bit when you spoke about it. So does that mean that you aren't, is that a weakness or a strength of yours? Lead follow
Oh,
up.
lead follow-up
Uh-huh.
is critical.
Yeah.
See, you've got 6 pools. I think it's 6 pools that you kinda have. First of all, the first pool is prospecting, and you prospect in that, and then you do the lead follow-up, okay? And lead follow-up usually creates what, 70, 80% of all your business comes out of the lead follow-up. And the
Hmm.
next pool is a listing appointment, and the next pool is listings taken, and the next pool is listings under contract, and the next pool is closings. So you've got all these pools in your office, and so you just want to but it all starts with prospecting. It all starts with but the most critical pool of all, not the lead that prospecting isn't, but the most critical pool is the lead follow up. You've got to be in there.
Hmm. No, that's definitely, it's vital to your business.
Yeah.
But I know that some people let it get away from them. Maybe they feel like they're bothering the person because they didn't get a great conversation out of them the first time. How do you connect with them in meaningful ways and continue to have a relationship with them before getting in front of them?
Well, you just ask permission. You
Okay.
just ask permission to, like, to follow up. And and the thing about it is you don't want to have a lot of stuff in there, because if there are a lot, then the bad ones cover up the good ones. And
Yeah.
so you want to be able to, really uh, come from a point of service to your client. Like we've always heard, MMFI, what make me feel important. And so you just want to touch base with your client, see how I can help them. And another great word is next. So if they don't want to help you, if they don't want to do anything right now, you're fine. You just go to the ones that. And right now in this market, I think it's really, really difficult, because what you want to do, you want to find the motivated sellers, and that's what
Mhm.
you want to do right now. Somebody that
Mhm.
just wants to put their house on the market from a greed standpoint is not really somebody you want to go after. And I went on two appointments, previews on Monday,
Mhm.
and I said, no, I don't want to deal with these people, because you're going to have to deal with them for 60, 90 days.
Absolutely.
That's the person you want to call up, and their motivation was not that strong. And even though they said it was, I went and previewed them home, and it just really wasn't. I just walked away. It
Okay.
just, you just say next. You got to find motivated people to do real estate with, and I can help them
Absolutely.
then. You can't help them if they're not motivated.
No, and if you just listen to them, they'll tell you
Exactly.
exactly what you wanna hear, but, newer agents like myself a couple of years ago, you think, "Oh, okay, well, once I get in front of them, maybe I can talk them into it or change their mind," and I have learned that the hard way. Yeah,
Yeah.
if people aren't motivated to sell, you're in trouble.
And that's the key. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Obtain your goals and whatever you want to do. Get you down to Florida, or get to be the family, or retiring. And here's what I want to do here, or I need a bigger house. We just had more kids, or sadly, hey, I'm going through a divorce, and I need to get the house sold. And so how, you come from, how can I help you? How can I help you do this? And so it
Well,
works.
you're doing it. You're doing it.
Well, it's fun. I mean, who doesn't like to help somebody?
Absolutely.
And then you get paid for
I
it.
know, right? I know. And sometimes these things carry on into further down the road, becoming friendships and
Oh,
relationships with your
yeah,
clients that you meet.
yeah. It's funny you say that. We were at the club, right before Christmas, and with some friends, we were having dinner. And then as I walked out, one of the doctor groups that I was with, that I do a lot of business with, they were having their Christmas party.
Oh.
So everybody was there, and it was like I was the star, because everybody had, coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Richard, oh, he sold my house back then, and
Oh,
he helped me buy this and that, and all the kids and everything like that." And everybody's giving hugs and everything like that. I mean, and I got paid to do that.
I know, right? And they got to see your face and they probably talked about you afterwards in a good way, of
Yeah,
course. And you
yeah.
probably got some leads that you don't even know about it because they talked your name after you left.
Well, who
How
did I
great
call
you
in
were.
January?
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. Well,
Right.
I don't think you have any mindset issues, but it's the name of the game. And, if the phone's not friendly that day, how do you overcome that?
I do the thing that I work on my mindset is the intensity.
Mhm.
Everybody's got the same amount of time. That's we all know that,
Mhm.
but it's what you do with that time. And so I think that the intensity is what I'm working on. And just like the pro football players or whatever like that, you need to have, to take it to the next level. And you're never at that level. I mean, you can always go to another level, another
Mhm.
level, another level. So that's one of the things that I've been working with, and that's why I have these these accountability partners that just really work with me, and I see how they're doing it and fast and everything like that, and I'm saying, "Whoa!" So, you know, when I get into the office, it's showtime. It's
Yeah.
not playing with the computer or doing this or that. I mean, and so to make those contacts, and I'm averaging somewhere around, I guess, below 10 contacts per hour, and so I want to increase that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just focus on that. I mean, just But the mindset is so important right now. I mean, it's just what we have. And so, when I work out in the morning, I listen to like Tim Grover, who
Hmm.
coached Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I listen to him. In fact, this morning I listened to Jim Rohn. And so, use that time to really, see how you can expand yourself and be strong and positive. So.
I agree with all that you're saying. And when you go to your coaching events and you're in a room surrounded by all that motivation and the people that they're cheering for you, they're rooting for you, and you get to get new ideas from them, it definitely helps.
When you go to those things, I mean, your family. I mean, it's not like they're trying to trip you up or anything, and you always leave. We always call it the spike, whether
Mhm.
whatever the coach's name is. You've got that spike, and so it's you have that for the next week or two or everything like that. But if you continue it on with accountability and meeting other people and role play and doing all that, you're going to win the game.
Absolutely. So, one piece of advice you would give to an agent that's become a little stagnant or complacent, what is it?
Uh, you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself, and we all need help. We
Hmm.
all need help. I mean, Michael Jordan, he was the top basketball player, and he got Tim Grover to help him out. And so we all need help. We all need a coach. So I would say get a coach.
Okay.
And I think just people know how to do it. You just have to have that reinforcement and everything else like that. And I've been doing it for a long time, but I still have a
Mhm.
coach. I've had a coach for 25 years.
Yeah.
And so I think that's very, very critical. And create some type of a mastermind. And you just need to have that support. But again, like I said earlier on, is that if you want to do all this stuff and then you wake up in the morning and want to see a sunrise, you can't put all your gym clothes on and run out and head west. You'll never see it. You got it. So unless you know the right way to do things, then you're not going to be successful. But read books, listen to videos. Stay positive the whole time.
Keep educating yourself.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Well, you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Well, if you are, you better get in the wrong you're in the wrong
You're in
room.
the wrong room. Yeah. You need to grow. Like you said,
Yeah.
you sit here at these events and you see what these people are doing, and you're like, I want to do that.
Eh, they put their pants on the same way you and I do,
Yeah.
and so, we can do that. It's just, I was with someone the other day, and this was interesting. I usually cut off my day, a little after 5, whatever.
Mhm.
He cuts off his day at 7:30
Wow.
PM.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's 2 more hours of prospecting and finding buyers and everything. Well, he's gonna do 140 deals this year.
Of course he
So,
is.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
so if you can just everybody has the same amount of time. We've been given
Hmm.
that. So, it's how you use that time and be smart at it. And if you come into the office and you're not gonna work, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Just go home. Go
Yeah.
play golf or something. I mean, but don't be a slug in the office. You keep your positive energy going. One of the
Hmm.
other things that's really funny is, I drink, my drink all the time. I have my water bottle with me, and, I put a little bit of extra, uh, pre-workout protein and
Oh,
pre-workout.
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That gets you excited
Heck
and
yeah, it
everything. So
does.
I'm on the phone and I'm ringing and everything else like that. I'm calling and I
Yeah.
mean, so you have that energy because
Mhm.
sometimes around 2 o'clock, you've had lunch or whatever, and you start to have that crash.
Uh-huh.
And so I throw a little pre-workout into my water and have the music going. You have
Mhm.
to create the right environment, have your desk clean, have your scripts up on the wall and the computer going, and you just go, 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 and do
Oh,
do all your calls. Make it fun.
yes. Well, you have, and you've got to figure it out. I love that you're still doing it, and I love that you're still challenging yourself and putting new goals in. And I mean, you're humble. I already know that. You won't even let everybody know how wonderful you are because I know
Well,
you are. I mean, 47 years, and yeah, something to be proud of. Lots to learn from you.
Well, thank you. But you mentioned something about humble. Ed Kaminsky is a top agent out in California,
Mhm.
and I was listening to Ed talk the other day. He said he lives by the three H's: be humble, be honest, and be hungry.
Couldn't have said
Wow.
it better.
Well,
I'm gonna put that
you
on
are
my
my
wall,
segue into it.
right? I know. I'm gonna put that in my office.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming on today.
Enjoy talking to you, and good
You
luck to
too.
you, and
Always.